So lads, Indiana Fever fans are just different. They are just different.
To get an award, all you need to do is write about Caitlin Clark, and congratulations. According to insiders, the basketball community is witnessing the emergence of a strong fan base that is changing the WNBA landscape through concerted support after seeing Clark's supporters organize to propel her from third to first place in the Webby Awards in a matter of hours.
We saw Caitlin Clark Muse win the Muse tournament, so much so that somebody tried to bot the vote so that Caitlin Clark didn't win the Muse tournament. And what the hell the Muse tournament is literally just a Twitter voting thing. Like, people were buying botted votes to try and make sure Caitlin Clark didn't win.
You'll see in the coming moments how this one phenomenon evolved into a social media revolution that produced a fan base as fervently devoted as Taylor Swift's legendary Swifties. While some players celebrate this new energy in women's basketball, others, like Angel Reese, react quite differently. Pat Boy Boland, the play-by-play announcer for the Indiana Fever, jokingly posted on social media that the team's digital crew was nominated for a number of prestigious Webby Awards. One nomination highlighted Caitlin Clark's rookie season for Best Use of Video, but this is where things start to get insane.
Our digital team is up for numerous Webby Awards, many of them featuring Caitlin Clark. Among them, we're an extremely tight race for Best Video. Caitlin Clark's historic rookie season has 28% of the vote. The leader has 30% of the vote.
Yes, that's correct. Boland's initial post regarding the nomination. In the realm of online voting contests, the leader had a slight but noticeable lead of 30%, and Clark's entry was in third place with 28% of the votes. This disparity usually proves challenging to close, as Clark wasn't even in second place, and based on voting trends, she looked to be essentially out of contention.
Obviously, look, this is the vote. You can look at this category on the Webby Awards. I don't even know what the hell the Webby Awards are.
Then came the shocking turn of events that nobody had anticipated. Fever supporters read Boland's post and acted right away. In just 2 hours, not days, not weeks, the tournament was completely turned upside down. As voters turned out in historically high numbers, Clark's nomination shot from third to first position.
Well, they were in third place when this tweet happened. They're now winning.
The voting percentages changed so quickly that some voiced total surprise in comments like, "Is this even possible?" And "I've never seen anything like this." Social media lighted up like a Christmas tree, and people couldn't believe what they were seeing in real time. The mobilization was compared by many to what you would find in the most well-organized fan communities in entertainment, but it was taking place in women's basketball.
Moved from third to first place within like 2 hours of this tweet. It is mad.
This fan response's rapidity was revolutionary. The spike occurred so swiftly that it totally violated the typical trends of online voting contests. The Fever supporters totally changed the result in a period of time that most marketing professionals would think was unthinkable.
It's everything is just voting for Caitlin Clark. We're only 2 points behind the leader in terms of percentage points, and now all of a sudden it has flipped from third to first. You're seeing it all on Twitter.
The tremendous coordinated effort of supporters from various geographies and demographics who came together in a matter of hours to support Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever is what makes this even more amazing. When it comes to anything related to Clark or the Fever, fans get out in force, as evidenced by the Webby voting surge. This kind of immediate and overwhelming response is changing people's perceptions of women's basketball fandom. Even the most well-known WNBA players haven't experienced this level of rapid-fire support before, and fans are now participating in women's basketball with the same fervor and strength typically seen in major men's sports or iconic entertainment fan bases like Taylor Swifties or K-pop stans.
All you have to do while being up for an award or anything is to just, you know, make it an award for Caitlin Clark, and the fans will be going absolutely berserk in terms of their voting, and they can seemingly win everything.
Imagine the impact on product sales, ticket demand, and television ratings if Fever supporters have the ability to change the result of an award competition in a matter of hours. This shows a level of fan power that has the potential to drastically alter the way women's basketball is conducted.
I'm not joking when I say this. This is the basketball equivalent of the Swifties.
The Clark effect is so strong that analysts are drawing comparisons between sports that quickly gain a following with the same level of commitment, organization, and quick response as Taylor Swift's Swifties that would have seemed unthinkable only months ago. We're seeing this change happen right now as WNBA experts have officially dubbed Fever supporters the Swifties of basketball, a moniker that signifies a radical change in the way women's sports fandom functions.
Like, we can never forget that this happened. Like, it's hard to believe. Like, it's hard to just wrap my head around just what is happening. Like, this was less than 3 months ago. It has been one of the wildest years ever.
This shows unheard of fan support for the WNBA. Traditionally, a player's popularity in sports usually grows over years or even decades as they accumulate a fan base, influence, and stardom. However, Clark's fans have completely upended that timeline, setting a new standard for fan power that is astounding veterans.
But it is like an equivalent to Swifties. And I mean that. Like, that is the best way I can describe it, is that it is like a takeover of the Swifties.
Similar to how Swifties organize concert ticket sales, the coordination was amazing when Clark starred in a commercial last month. Clark Nation trended within hours as fans shared videos, made jokes, and increased engagement levels that surpassed significant NBA announcements. That same tenacity is displayed by Fever supporters whenever there is a chance to cheer for Clark or the Fever, as social media erupts with fans communicating with one another and setting up support in a matter of minutes rather than days. What's really amazing is that this is taking place during what should be the quietest period of Clark's career. Normally, rookie attention wanes during the offseason, but for Clark, it's turning into the most intense spotlight of her life. Fans follow her commercial shoots, watch training videos, and produce content centered around every move she makes, even when there aren't any games. Compared to most WNBA players during playoff games, the engagement numbers during this downtime are higher.
Like, if you have online polls, like, you better believe that there would be and Taylor Swift was up for the greatest artist of all time, the Swifties would go and rig it. It's like the K-pop fans.
Both Swifties have mastered transforming individual emotion into group action that produces results, as evidenced by their fervent devotion to their hero, which includes standing up for them in the face of criticism and organizing thousands of people in a matter of minutes when called upon.
Like, we also can't forget with the K-pop fans that like, the K-pop fans randomly just started voting Andrew Wiggins, and Andrew Wiggins got an all-star because of the K-pop fans. And this is like that. This is genuinely like that.
Both Swifties have mastered transforming individual emotion into group action that produces results, as evidenced by their fervent devotion to their hero, which includes standing up for them in the face of criticism and organizing thousands of people in a matter of minutes when called upon.
And also, I actually think that the All-Star voting next season is going to be Caitlyn, obviously, 1. I think number 2 is probably going to be Aaliyah again. Kelsey Mitchell in All-Star voting will probably go up to 3. If I'm not mistaken, Alyssa Smith had more votes than Kelsey Mitchell last year.
This phenomena is particularly noteworthy in women's basketball, a sport that has battled for decades to gain widespread acceptance while having incredible players and captivating narratives.
Because I have a weird feeling that the Fever fans voting for All-Stars are going to vote the Fever starting 5 and the Fever bench. Like, we are going to see, and I mean this, we are going to see Kate Martin in the top 10 voting again.
Insiders are watching in awe as early indications suggest Clark could become the top All-Star vote getter as a rookie, something unprecedented in professional basketball. This would represent a historic achievement that would fundamentally change how we understand fan influence in the WNBA. The question that is currently circulating throughout the WNBA is whether this fan power will translate to All-Star voting.
They are just different. And we've seen the stuff like Erica Wheeler's, like, the amount of things she ended up getting from Fever fans, like money towards her charity.
While many coaches and veterans celebrate this energy and attention, not everyone is happy. Players like Angel Reese seem frustrated by the shifting dynamics, with social media posts suggesting she's struggling with this shift in fan power, reorganizing the WNBA hierarchy. Sources also suggest that Fever fans are organizing to support their entire team, not just Clark. Based on the strength of this fan movement, we could see multiple Fever players receiving All-Star recognition.
We at year 7 and the trajectory has changed. The world is watching us, and of course we got to shout out Caitlin Clark. She has a big part of that, of why the world is watching us. We gonna give her flowers. She is who she is. That's a motherfucker. We gonna just put it out in the air. That's fine. But
When Erica Wheeler started her charity initiative, she expected the usual modest support that WNBA players typically receive. But what actually happened left everyone involved completely speechless. Fever fans opened their wallets and turned up in numbers that charity organizers simply weren't prepared to handle. That template isn't just changing how people vote in online polls, it's transforming real lives in ways no one expected. $10,000 for inner-city child activities resulted in over $75,000 in donations and 3 times the anticipated number of volunteers. This support went well beyond residents of Indiana. One donor from Seattle wrote, "I've never been to Indianapolis, but the Fever community inspired me to be part of something bigger than basketball." This nationwide outpouring of generosity demonstrated that Fever fandom transcends geographic boundaries and spreads across America at an astounding rate. Wheeler's charity received donations from all over the nation.
They're watching for other players too, and it's the league didn't grow because of Caitlin and all this stuff, and then you go and see all of these situations that are happening, and the only thing you can say is whether or not you agree the league only grew because of Caitlin or not, the Caitlin Clark fans are not only good for the game, they are here to stay.
This phenomenon is not limited to Wheeler's initiative. In the meantime, many in the WNBA media ecosystem continue to downplay what's happening, saying it's just temporary excitement. They insist that some commentators have suggested this surge in support is just a fleeting moment that will quickly fade. Every charitable program connected to the Fever is experiencing this unprecedented level of support. Player foundations that typically struggled now see donation numbers that would impress established NBA charities. Community service events that normally draw modest crowds are packed with passionate supporters ready to donate their time and resources.
We genuinely may not see again in sports, and it is always so funny looking at the WNBA media trying to stop, not even kind of almost put a stop to this.
These contemptuous opinions don't reflect reality. Instead of the usual spike and drop pattern that follows immediate sports excitement, the engagement metrics reflect a whole different tale. Analysts are monitoring consistent growth across all quantifiable parameters. Weekly increases in community involvement, charitable giving, and social media engagement aren't slowing down. Rather, they're gaining speed.
To Paulie's article in GQ, there's a difference between great players and phenomenons. No one ever said Caitlin Clark wasn't no one ever said there weren't ever great players before Caitlin Clark. There was never phenomenons, not in my lifetime, with women's basketball. And I went to UConn. So I've seen plenty of great players, but nobody's ever moved the needle in my lifetime like this.
Yes.
While some veterans may feel threatened by this change in fan power, Fever fans have revolutionized women's basketball fandom and established a blueprint that changes the entire WNBA landscape. This change is exactly what women's basketball has needed. And the real question isn't whether Clark's popularity is too great, but rather how other WNBA franchises will adjust and create their own fervent fan armies. Do you believe that other teams can duplicate this phenomena of fan mobilization? Or will the Fever's strategy continue to be the only one used in women's basketball?